Welcome back to the Royal Princess Reborn channel. Today we're going to continue on painting, and what we're going to do today is the complexion layer. We're going to do 2 layers just to bring out all the detail that we did with the veining and the modeling. So I went ahead and did 1 layer already on this doll here, and this is the Skya sleep kit, and it's looking really nice. Now with the lighting, you probably, let's see if I can, there. Now you can see what is happening here. All the veins and the mottling are coming to life. So it's looking more like a baby skin on there. So we're just going to add another layer, and I did that with limbs as well, everything here. So we're just going to add another layer, and I'll just show you if I can take this out. See how the skin is starting to look more realistic here? And this piece, oh, this piece is still a little damp there. I think the other one is a little drier than this one, but just to show you how it looks. Look at the hand here. This one's there. You can see it there. So it's looking the way we want it to look. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to check out this one. I have the Asher kit behind me here. I'll see if this one's dry. Yeah, this one's dry. Okay, so we're going to take our sponge here. This is the one that absorbs more. It's more porous. And this is the one that's a little denser, so it's not going to take off as much. It's going to really leave it on. What I did was I put a lot of paint in here because I'm doing more than one doll. So this is a mixture of thinner and Flesh 06, and I have a tiny bit of raw umber in here just to give it a little more darker, warmer tone to it. You can add a little bit of yellow in there if you like, but this is what I did. And as I go along, if the thinner evaporates, I'll add a bit more of the paint of the Flesh 06 in there. I normally use the Flesh 08, but I don't have too much left. So this time around, I thought, well, I'll use the 06 and warm it up a bit, and then we'll go from there and see how it goes. And you know, if I need to tweak the color a bit, I'll just add a bit of whatever I need to make it the way that I envision it. So so you mix it so it's very thin, not too thin. You still want a little bit of color, but you don't want too much, because we don't want it to get all chalky on our baby. So I went ahead and did that, and this is what it looks like. Let's see if I can get the, yeah. So that's the color that I'm using there. Okay, so we're just going to stir that up because it does settle on the bottom. Grab our sponge here. And we're just going to start pouncing. I like to start at the back. Make sure you get behind the ear. And then you can always use your fine little brush that I like to use here, just to go in behind the ear so there's no excess paint there. And as your sponge collects a lot of paint, you can just dab it off on the paper towel. So I like to go halfway up. I take it in 2 sections. Others do it differently. You can do whatever you feel works for you. I like to go over the ear. And then we'll take the denser sponge and lightly just go over each section that you did. That looks great. Just turn that lighting over there so you can see better. You can pick that up. That's looking really good. And go in the ears. There's no drips in there. And you can also just take a bit of the paint on your brush here and just go in behind the ear as well. Make sure you get it. And then just dab over top. And just check if there's any excess, just go inside the ear and around. We don't want to leave any discoloration there. And that looks good there. Okay, and then we're going to go to the front and do the same thing. I'm just going to put this down. More paint here on the sponge. And again, you can check the color on the paper towel here, you know, see if it's the color you want. And this looks great here. That there. You don't want it too dark. You want it enough that you just see it, and that's perfect. So aim it for something like that. We're going to go on the front. And again, you're going to, with the creases, if excess paint gets in there that you can't sponge off, just use your little brush. Make sure you've got everything here. And the same thing, you're just lightly pouncing. Right now I'm doing 3 babies at once, and I find that a challenge. 1 was nice because you give all your full attention. It's like having kids, you know. And then 3, you're like, okay, now you have to organize, and then what piece, and it goes in the, when you do the oven, and getting everything all in order. So it's a little trickier for me. But I don't think I can handle more than that unless I had a bigger room where I could put them all in a row on a table and keep them straight. Keep them in order. And then if you have too much paint in the nose there, just go in the nostrils, clean that out. Any of the creases. Go back in the ears if you see anything that looks good. Let's see what I can do with the lighting there. There you go, up close. But you get the idea. It's really, the skin is really coming to life now. Looking good. So I'll put this here to dry. And we're going to continue. And I do believe I still have enough paint. Well, one more. I do want the color there. Okay, so we're going to go on the foot. And we're going to work right up until the knee here. Just so we keep track of what we did. There we go. And then we're going to gently dab that in order. Think of it as going in rows, dabbing. That's what I do to make sure I don't take it all back off. And then if you check in between all the toes here and see if you've gotten any excess paint in there, just take your little brush here and then just go back in. We don't want any excess paint in there. That looks good. And then continue on up over the knee, around the edge here. What are some of the dolls that everyone is working on? If you want to put that in the comments. And how many dolls do you like to do at once? And I guess too, it's having the amount of time to do all of this as well. How much time you can put in a day to do the dolls, or evening. But you can never have enough babies. I have so many right now. And I'm hoping for June or the end of June to have them up for sale. So as we go through each step, you'll see the process of each doll, and they'll be on my Facebook page. And I'll put it in the doll group as well, the Royal Princess community group that I have. and you can check that out. And I can also leave a link in the bottom of the page as well. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here. Make sure. And that piece looks great. So we'll let that dry. And I'll do one of the hands just to show you too. So we're gonna do just one more paint there. I love the little hands on this one. Adorable. The little fingers out. So my newest grandbaby is almost 4 months, and she's the most sweetest little thing ever. And she is trying to talk with her little coos that she does, and starting to roll around everywhere. And smile a lot. And that makes me happy as well. I now have 6 grandchildren. And out of all that, I have 1 grandson, and the rest are girls, which is fine by me because I'm partial to girl babies when I make them. I have actually 1 reborn boy doll, and I had, when I first started, I had the Ashton Drake collection. So I have 1 out of the 6 that I have of that. So yeah, I'm more partial to girls. Not that I don't like boys, but in my own kids, I have 7 children. And I have 5 boys and only 2 girls. So, you know, I'm happy that I have my 5 boys, but it's also fun to have the girls as well, and to see the babies. And my other daughter, she has twin girls who are 3 years old, and they're identical, and it is very hard for me sometimes to tell them apart. And sometimes they like to play games, and when I say, are you Anna? And I go, no, I'm Amelia, and then they're joking with me. So you know, they like to play those games already. I can just imagine when they're teenagers and try to fool people, you know. But it is fun. It is fun. Okay. And go in here. Just check these fingers. Yeah, the paint likes to settle in those creases there. That's why you should always check them. And also check your pieces before you decide to bake them as well, because the paint will settle in if you have a little too much in there, and then you can get a little bit of thinner and just remove the excess paint. Okay, so I'll let that dry. And then I will work on this one as well, doing the second coat on the Skya kit here that I have right here. So we'll do those 2 layers, and then we can work on the next layers that we're going to do in the series of me painting my dolls here. So thanks for watching, and like I said, if you have any comments or questions, or if you want to just add whatever you want to add, it'll help others as well who are still learning. I'm still learning. You know, it's an everyday process of just creating, you know, creating your work. So just leave me a comment down below. I'd appreciate that. And you have a great day, and please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.